Greetings, everyone. What's today? Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, which is a Mercury day. And we are in the final degrees of Mercury before it is out of the post shadow. Mercury is currently at the 20th degree of Sagittarius. And the sun is in Capricorn. And things are really changing. My energy is a little reserved because my reality is shifting. You hear people say things like, I jump timelines, and I'm having a bit of a timeline jump right now, which is only a shift in your mind. That's it. It's a timeline jump means you changed perspectives, you changed your perception. That's it. We you hear all of this lingo, and I don't know that I feel like people aren't always explaining things to their fullest, but everything happens in the mind, which is why I have been doing this Mercury Retrograde class. To me, in my experience or in my studies, every planet is significant. All the planets are significant. You can't have one without the other. But the role of Mercury is, like, in this reality, is a very strong key. Some of the other planets could be weak and you can still function. But if your Mercury isn't, you cannot. You know what I mean? It's just, your mind is running this thing. Your mind is creating this reality. And that is the most profound thing to get. It is the most profound thing to get. And the ways that I have gotten that are, I have started talking to reality. I've started going, okay, I just heard this thought. I remember one time I was in a medicine ceremony in San Pedro. It was a very interesting experience. I think it may have been like my first medicine ceremony. And we did Wachuma, which is the father of ayahuasca, the father aspect of it. And it was interesting because we were in San Diego. I was with two women who are white women. I was in a space where there was hardly any other, maybe there was one other black person, and maybe there were 40 people there, and they were all white people for the most part. And there was going to be like a shaman there, a woman who was a shaman, and she was from South Africa, and she was white. And it was just a very deep experience because I was there all day long. I was like caught in a dimension, and the medicine was supposed to help people release, and I couldn't let go. I could not let go. Wow. And it was, and because I couldn't let go, like the land was in angst, and the dogs were barking, and the wind was blowing, and the women who were like the medicine women were like around me, and they were like trying to soothe me, and I was just internally like holding. I was just holding, and they were trying to they were rubbing my back and my feet, and it was so intense. It was so intense. And then I was out sitting on a hillside. It was a beautiful hillside, and the sun, and there were mountains, and the sun was kind of over the horizon, and the South African medicine woman came out to talk to me, and she said to me, we cannot do this work without you guys. Basically, what she was saying was, we need Black American women in this journey, and you guys are not in the spaces. You guys are not, you have to lead the way. you all have been through the most trauma, the most turmoil, you all have the greatest power, and you guys are holding it. You're like, you guys are still asleep. And she didn't say all of that, but in the ways that she could, she said it. And I heard her. And so at some point, like the sun set, and she said that, and I released, like I vomited. Like I actually vomited on her. It was very interesting. Like I vomited on her. And she had on like a long lacy dress. Like it was a very woo-woo kind of experience. And I vomited on her, and the energy started moving. And I wanted to leave. And I was with two other women who we all were like, they had me, I had them. But it was clear that there was something deeply spiritual and race-based going on. But it was trying to be healed. It wasn't, a dark energy. It was dark, but it was attempting to come into light. And when they finally agreed that we could leave, because they were like, you're on the medicine and you can't leave yet. And so we were literally just all laid in a corner on, a makeshift mat and just laid together, huddling. And when they said, you guys can go, we got in that car like it was get out. And we started getting out of there as much as we could. And it was such a interesting shift in my consciousness around the full human experience, race, like all the stuff, and what we're here to do to heal this stuff. To free ourselves from these old patterns. It was a very interesting. I don't know why I told you guys that story, but I did. So Mercury, Mercury is because of the mind. That's what it was about. Like being able to change your mind, and Mercury at the 20th degree today is the degree that governs Scorpio and Pluto, and that degree is a degree around power and how you are using your power. And so today is an opportunity because the sun is in Capricorn, and with the sun in Capricorn, we have discipline and focus and structure. And in order to really utilize your power, in order to access your magic, that's what this is about. Shit, y'all. My work is to help people. Okay, tell me why. My work is to help people, women, access their magic, remember who they are. That's what all my astrology stuff is about, mostly. But in order to access your magic, you have to heal. You have to heal your trauma, or your trauma will run your magic. And now that I have, done this work around like transforming my mind, it's more, I can access the magic more readily than I had been able to prior to this. And so with Mercury at the final degree of this retrograde, it's going to be at the 20th degree now, which is about power. It's going to be at the 21st degree, which is a Sagittarius degree. And then it's going to end at the 22nd degree tomorrow, which is a Capricorn degree, and the sun is in Capricorn. And when I tell you this is like two realities coming together, boom, and we're going to hit the ground running. Like, it's so profound to see the invisible and the codes and how this stuff is coming together. And my prayer is that people just have some connection to themselves so that you're not scared, so that you're not making choices that aren't beneficial to you, so that you are truly aligned with something that is deep within you. That's why all that you are saying is speaking to me. Good. So, the 20th degree, it's still the 20th degree now. The 20th degree is a degree that is ruled by Scorpio. This is about your power. And so you want to be asking things like, how does my power work? What am I like in my power? What would I be like if I were empowered and clear about my magic and what it functions as? What would that look like inside of me? What would my life look like if I was functioning as a fully healed, magical being, what would my life look like? How would my mind function? How would I feel? Right? These are the questions for the 20th degree. And then into the 21st degree, which is the degree that is ruled by Sagittarius, it's gratitude. I'm so thankful and grateful that I have the power, that I'm aligned. I'm so thankful and grateful that I am activated in my magic and here's the thing about having your magic. You have to have access to the masculine and feminine. You have to be able to recognize the light and the shadow. You cannot have magic if you can't understand some function of the duality within you, and you have to be at ease with it. So this is why I invite you guys to come do coaching sessions. 13 Moons is going to start back next month. So for those of you who really, 13 Moons is geared towards activating your magic. Then I will be doing a free class here on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. If TikTok is still here, I will be doing a free class, and that class will be around the nodes. And the nodes are going to assist you in reconciling the healing work you haven't done yet. For those people who haven't really started their healing journey or need support on the healing journey, that's why I'm going to offer that class at no cost, that without a paywall, because most of us need that. Like, most of us have not been doing the healing work, and we need that. And so that's what we are going to be doing. Y'all, when I tell y'all, this reality is changing, this reality is shifting. I have been I have a lot of earth placements. Like, I have a stellium in Virgo in the 6th house. And earth moves slow. It just moves slow. Even though Virgo is the fastest moving of the earth signs, it is a slow moving energy because it's earth. And I have been diligent and committed and devoted for a decade, 9 years. And I've been seeing progress. It's always been progress. It's been progress, but it's been progress that's practical. It's been progress that's like, oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I needed that. It's been very deliberate, intentional, gentle progress. And now I'm starting to be like, okay, it's picking up. and it's very exciting, and I can see that it's very important that we do things in order, because if we don't have an order, you'll lose your mind. You will lose your mind. Like, you have to make yourself ready for what this reality really is. And we have been in a bubble. We have been in an illusion called the United States of America, or the Western world, or we have been in a false reality that is dissolving now. And we will need to access our power, our magic, our gifts, because just like animals need their intuition and their abilities to function, to know when danger is coming, to know when the seasons, we will need that, because that is a part of how we're meant to function. Many of us have been eating in ways and behaving in ways that have nulled, dulled, cut off our abilities. But, we're going to do the work through this nodal shift in Virgo starting January 12th that will support us in fast tracking the shifts back into another way of being, back into our original codes. And it's like taking the rust off of metal. It's like getting something to work that hasn't worked in a long time. And it's a deliberate, gentle, intentional process. Am I making sense? Or is what I'm saying just completely, so this Mercury retrograde has been the first step. It's the first step to ready ourselves, and understanding that you don't change the external world from the external perspective. You have to change the external from inside. You have to go in to go out. You have to go down to go up. You have to go up to go down. You have to go slow to go fast. And many of us are just out of our memories. And, so we're going to begin to do the work. Oh, I'm very excited, you all. And it's like depositing a penny into a piggy bank daily, eventually. Yes, exactly. Eventually it adds up. That's right. And you have enough. You know what I'm saying? And you're not in a rush. And it's, when I was younger, like in my 20s, I used to hear a voice in my head that would always, because I used to want, like I was very desirous, like I wanted things and it was painful and I wanted it. I might want a pair of shoes and I really want them and they cost $300 and I don't have the money for them and I want them and I want them and I want them and I want them. And I would obsess and I would hear a voice inside of my head that would say, if you really want it, you'll still want it when you can get it. If you really want it, you'll still want it when you can get it. I used to be like, who the fuck is that? If you really want it, you'll still want it when you actually have the resources to get it. And here I am now, as a 56-year-old woman, and I'm like, oh, there are things that I really wanted. I really wanted to function in my power and my magic. It never went away. All the things that happened in my life, it never went away. And I am here today because I really wanted it. And now I actually have what it takes to get it. And what I wanted was my power, my magic. I wanted to feel connected in my body. I wanted to trust my gut. I wanted to love myself. I wanted to express the energy that was within me. I wanted to bring it from the inside to the outside. I wanted to live an authentic existence. I wanted to touch the power within me and have it be used because I could feel that it was in there and I didn't know how to access it. And it was a very incredibly painful thing. It really was. And the thing that I learned is that money is not the thing. It's because we can buy a lot of things. Like what I learned was that I had a lot of desire, and that desire might have gotten activated by a man or, some shoes or a dress that cost $2,000 and I would have this wanting, but it wasn't about not having the money. It was about, do you feel the power of do you feel the energy of your power? Do you feel that energy in you that is pulling, that's a magnet? Can you feel it? Can you feel your And once I started being with that, the things that I wanted started magnetizing to me without money. They started coming. People would come and be like, oh, I thought of you, and I'd be like, oh, that's just the thing I was wanting. Like when I started being with the feeling inside of me, the very thing that I desired would come without money. It would just show up, Somebody would be like, oh, I heard you say this, or oh, da-da-da. Or it would be something very close to it or like it, because it's not about the actual thing. It's about the power that creates the thing. It's about there are no words for it, y'all. There's no words for it. So, all right, you all. We are still in the clearing moon. We had a new moon in Capricorn. We're still in the clearing moon for those of you who have done moon work with me and you understand that. So it's a good time to be doing some clearing and some releasing. And yeah, so that's it. If you have any questions, if you need any support, let me know. I am really excited to have some clarity. When I tell y'all, Spirit brought me back from Bali and sat me down and was like, you're not doing nothing. Like, you're going to sit down. This is what it is. And you'll know when. And so, okay. So I've been obedient and obedience is important. All right, you all. I love you. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful Wednesday. Bye-bye.